Greetings and welcome to your new moon forecast and 7 planetary alignment forecast. We've got a lot to talk about. My glasses are on here, and we'll talk about the 5 things that we need to know. We have some recommended practices. We'll do some divination cards at the end. And this is really about not just to survive, but to thrive during these most epic changes that we are experiencing. The new moon forms kind of a blueprint that the entire month cycle represents. Is that the right word? Forms a blueprint of how the energies will flow over the next month. And with a once in 1,000 years alignment that's coming up, well, a portal between the dimensions is opening, like a crack in the dimensions is opening now. And we want to work on taking full advantage of this cosmic opportunity that really doesn't come around too often. The last time there was a 7 planet alignment within 180 degrees in the night sky was 800 some odd years ago, I think. So anyways, so there's a lot to talk about. So our goal is to help you to prepare for the challenges, but also to take advantage of these opportunities, these immense gifts that are coming. Now, if you're watching this as a video, we're going to get started in just a moment. I like to give the live people a chance to get their notifications, but I'll timestamp when we actually begin. So let me say a few quick hellos now that people are starting to come in. Hello, Laura, Suzette, welcome. Hello, Play Love and Suzette. And hello, Mr. Floyd, Josh, Lisa, Mary, welcome. And Millie and Michael and Jason. And we're starting an hour before we usually do, so we may not get a lot of live people. A lot of people may catch this one as a video. Hello, Felicia. But very important information to cover here. So we're going to talk about the 5 things we need to know, a little bit of numerology and astrology, as well as the recommended practice. I think that I said that already. So let me grab a drink of water. I see people are starting to come in slowly but surely. Hello, Vicky. And anybody that I missed, hello to you also. It's just that I missed you. All right. We've been on 2.5 minutes. I think it's time to get started. So the first thing that we need to know about this powerful, well, let me start out by saying the new moon is happening on the 27th of February, the 28th of February in Europe and points east. It's here on the east coast of the United States. It's going to be 7:45 p.m. on the 27th at 9 degrees of the sign Pisces. And that's important. And there's a few other things that I'll talk about and mention it as I go on, like it's on a universal 20 day and a universal 21 day. We'll talk about that as we get going. So in any event, the first thing that we need to know is that we are becoming supernatural. And I know I'm borrowing the title of a Joe Dispenza book that I really, really love, but it's very appropriate. We are becoming supernaturals. And basically, there's a full-on dimensional shift that's happening. And if you've been doing the work, if you've been doing your spiritual work, and you're aligned to these higher frequencies, you're going to have an amazing shift. It's like a quantum jump and a quantum leap. At the 9 degrees of Pisces new moon, Pisces opens up the subconscious. 9 is very energetic. It's Mars energy. Oh, thank you so much, Jason. It's Mars energy. It's Pluto energy. It's very energizing. It really has that kind of transmutation energy with the number 9. Plus, it's the pinnacle of the 369 code, the Tesla code. So very important. Portal, and of course, the portal of the 7 planet alignment is happening. And that helps to create a crack between the dimensions so that we can achieve interdimensional or 5-dimensional awareness, and we can shift into these higher vibrational frequencies. So by doing that, we open up dormant DNA, we open up dormant dimensions, dormant potentials, and by doing so, we become supernatural or extra human, develop superhuman gifts, superhuman healing abilities, intuitive abilities, so forth and so on. And Mars will also be stationing at 17 degrees Cancer. It's stationing now. It just went direct very recently, and it's in conjunction in a weak conjunction with the fixed star Sirius at about 13 degrees Cancer, and it comes into an opposition of galactic center. A few hours. That'll peak a few hours after the actual new moon, but it's going to happen on the same day. So basically, Sirius is sometimes it's called the spiritual sun, and it helps to open up these higher portals, and it's kind of aligning with the galactic center, like the moon being right in the middle with the and the sun also, because a new moon is a sun moon conjunction. So Mars is the energy that activates the Sirius activating and the Sirius galactic center portal to higher dimensions. And Neptune will also be conjuncting the North Node during this new moon. So the nodes really work on the planetary shifts that are going on, and Neptune really invokes a lot of higher knowledge and a higher wisdom. It also helps dispel illusions and delusions and stuff like that. So Neptune's will be, so that's going to add a lot of energy basically, and that'll help to enhance intuition, healing abilities, opens up to higher levels of spirituality, facilitates a personal and global quantum leap. So this is all the stuff that we have to look forward to, and this is happening in just a couple of days. So the new moon at 9 degrees of Pisces, um, the universal number 20 days. So the 27th of February, it adds up to 20. That reduces to 2. That's the number of the awakening, and it's the judgment card in tarot. So it's the great awakener. And 21 degrees is the expansion and growth. So that reduces to 3. So we have both of those numerologies working with this new moon, because the globe's kind of divided. Here in the West, it's the 20th, and then Europe and points east to the international date line is the 21st. So also Venus is sextiling Jupiter, and Mercury is conjuncting Saturn. So we have all these astrological qualities working with us. So the second thing that we need to know, and I just noticed a bunch of people just found us, so you can, when we're done, catch up and you'll get the first thing. Okay, the second thing that we need to know is it's time to clean house, and you can literally clean your house. It's a time to declutter basically, but it's also the time that we need to clean our auric house, our auric fields, to clear all the energetic clutter from this and other lifetimes, from other people, from society, all the programming. We've been talking about this for a while, but it's very succinctly aligned with the energies of this particular new moon. And again, the new moon, it forms a template or the blueprint of how the energies are going to move in the coming month. So this is very relevant, for this full new moon. Okay, so the unsustainable in society as well as the unsustainable in our lives will fall. So this higher energy is basically eradicating the foundation of our society built on greed, corruption, and all that good stuff. So eradication means pulling from the roots, right? So it's really affecting the roots, the unsustainable foundation, basically. And when that happens, the structure falls and we rebuild on new. So basically cleaning house. So what we want to do is do shadow integration work, clear up the old traumas, the old patterns, the old stories and stuff like that. Like we're stepping into a whole new reality, a whole new energy, a whole new interdimensional truth that's new for most of us, if not all of us. So we must clear to raise your frequencies to step into your new higher self and your new and higher perceptions, basically. So declutter. Oh, thank you. Yeah, let's remember to thank you for reminding us to like, share, and subscribe and get this information out to more people. So I think that kind of covers point number 2. So clean house, physically, energetically, emotionally. There's just no going back. It's just going to keep getting higher and higher, stronger and stronger. So that's number two. Moving right along to number three. Number three is the earth will shake. And this is going to be part of I'm going to talk a lot about this in the Mars psychic forecast. We're going to do that Friday at 7 p.m. So we do that every month. Mars is going to be a doozy. I'll just leave it at that. So the earth will shake. That means very literally that our physical earth is going to shake. There's going to be more seismic activity. Part of that is resultant of this new moon. And guess what? After this new moon, we go into eclipse season. So we go through two eclipses. I believe it's the next full moon and then the following new moon are both going to be eclipses. And that energetic as well as magnetization on the planet helps to precipitate these things. But it's also these high energies. The higher the energies, the more it affects the earth fields, the more it creates energetic motion and movement within the earth, and the more it releases some of the old stuck karma based on things that have happened over the last several thousand years, and so forth and so on. So basically it's a response, and we've already been seeing these increases. It's just going to continue. Now, things will also shake in our society. Huge changes in the governments, like we're not seeing that already, right? It's just beginning. Huge changes in our own lives. So earth shaking changes going on in the world politics, as well as things going on in our own lives. Big changes. A lot of us will be changing friendship, changing jobs, just because of the heightened awareness and the spiritual growth. You may be changing a lot of your daily routines and your activities to support your higher frequencies and your higher energies and realizations. Mars is stationing now at 17 degrees Cancer. The 17-degree point, it's the star. It brings hope. Cancer is a very hopeful and a very positive energy also. It's the moon, so it's accentuating the lunar effects by having Mars in Cancer in the station. It brings hope. It suggests a lot of earth changes will be related to water. So watch out for floods and tsunamis also, because Cancer is a lunar water sign, basically. Also, intense sky activation. So we get a lot more with extraterrestrial contacts. A lot of us are already in contact telepathically with our extraterrestrial interdimensional guides, angels, and so forth. But I think we're going to see a lot more in the way of sky anomalies, big shows, maybe with the auroras, with the we had an X-class flare yesterday, as a matter of fact. So this is all ramping up. I need some water before I cough. I just saw that with the poor Greece earthquakes. And that gives me a little bit of an opportunity to pat myself on the back, because a lot of you know that in the February psychic forecast, maybe the January, maybe the 2025, we spoke of Greece and Italy specifically as a hotspot for seismic activity in February, as well as the area off of Baja was another area that came up, south of Baja. And then we had earthquakes in both the Western Caribbean, which I know isn't off Baja, but it's only a couple of hundred miles away. And there was a 5 point something just west of Panama, I think, which is totally just in that area. But anyway, thanks for reminding me. So these trends are continuing, basically. So what else? Also intense. All right, we talked about the beginning of a complete overturning and overhaul of the government, the economy, the global conflicts, and all that stuff. Demonstrations, unfortunately, may turn violent. Terrorism increases, so keep an eye on that. It's just part of the changes. We're not doom and gloom here, but we want to be prepared and to understand that all this needs to happen for us to ascend into our next level of humanity. So it's all a process. It's not easy, but it leads to a very positive place at the end of the day. The beginning of a complete, demonstration, corruption exposed on a grand level. On Friday night for the Mars psychic forecast, I'm going to have a list itemizing all the corruption in our world that is being exposed now. Some of it's in the news, some of it isn't, as well as what I see being exposed in March and April. And it's a long list, a very long list. So that's happening. I mean, again, it's not easy, but it needs to happen. It's a rough process that we're in. It needs to happen. A lot of people are very afraid. We have to remind them that everything's going to be okay. The world needs to change. God, spirit, sorcerers is in charge. We're going to be okay in the end. So anyway, I'm moving right along. Nature goes crazy. Just in a nutshell, nature's going crazy. That's page 3. Let me get to page 4 here. Where is page 4? Here it is. Okay. So speaking of which, a lot of ascension symptoms. Yeah, I'm just peeking at your comments briefly. Okay, I see we've shot up a lot. So again, when we're done here, if you want to catch the beginning for the first 3 things that we need to know, you know how to do that. So number 4 thing that we need to know is spiritual awakening. This is the core of the earth changes. We've already stepped into it. These next several months are going to be huge. We've been preparing for many years, both on the Medium channel, before the Medium channel, on my other social media platform, because we've been seeing this for a very long time. Not just me, but others that work in intuition and psychic psychic development, mediumship, and stuff like that. So spiritual awakening, 20 degrees. I mean, not 20 degrees. It's a 20 universal day forming the template of this lunar cycle. 20 is the awakening. In the judgment card, it's Archangel Gabriel blowing the horn and awakening the land, awakening the masses. But it's also a 21 day because it's happening after midnight in Europe and Point Cease. That's growth and expansion. So Cancer, the sign Cancer is very intuitive. It's lunar based. The 9 degrees, it's regenerative, it's Pluto, it's about the deep mysteries, it's transmutation, it's alchemy. We're undergoing spiritual alchemy, spiritual awakening. And I'm not talking about being woke. I'm not talking about being aware of the politics and the corruption. I mean, that is awakening to some degree, but I'm talking about the awareness that your spirit, your energy, your frequency having a human experience, not just intellectually, but stepping into that reality from an experiential point of view and point of reference. That to me is what spiritual awakening is. And then when I had that in 1978, all of a sudden I became very psychic and very telepathic and started to see auras and started a lot of gifts surfaced just when I made the shift of realizing that I'm not what I thought I was. I'm energy and frequency. I am spirit. You're already spiritual as you're ever going to be because you're spirit. So spiritual growth is really about decrease. It's eliminating those false beliefs or the false information that takes you away from who you are as spirit and gets you into a lower vibration or frequency, basically. So you're already spirit. You can't get more spiritual than that. So like Jay Krishnamurti and Bruce Lee and others have all said, spiritual growth is not a matter of daily increase, it's a matter of daily decrease. How do we decrease? We do shadow integration. We do stuff like that to get those old programming, those false beliefs out so that we start to recognize who we truly are. And then we start to remember our other lifetime. We start to remember our interdimensional reality, that we exist in other realities, and we can go in. We do when we're in deep sleep. We start to remember these things. We remember who we are, what our life mission is, why everything's changing, and what our new life mission is here on New Earth. So that's the spiritual awakening that we're talking about, leading to not sadhana, there's another word, samadhi, is it? The Sanskrit term for enlightenment, leading to enlightenment, into spiritual enlightenment. And there's different phases of that. So let me see what else do we have today. More people having awakenings than ever before. The interdimensional crack, and that's what the 7 planetary alignment is. It's creating a crack in between the dimensions, making it easier for us to step into that that portal of multidimensional reality. And Heather and I on Thursday, that's the day of the new moon, and we're going to be working at the exact hour of the new moon, are going to do energy transmission to help shift your frequencies so you can more easily step into these higher dimensions. You can slip through the cracks into your interdimensionality. So we're going to be doing that at 7 p.m. Thursday. All right, what else about that? Higher energies to flow. So the interdimensional crack allows higher energies to flow through us and our reality, catalyzing awakening and new spiritual knowledge and gifts. So that's basically that. Oh, and there's a number 5 also. So the fifth thing is new beginnings. All new moons are about new beginnings. This is a good time to set new intentions. What do you want in your life? What do you want to start creating in your life? But especially when it comes to spirituality, because it's in the sign of Pisces. Did I say Cancer earlier? That was an error. The moon's in the sign Pisces, which is the last sign, which is also very relevant to things like spiritual awakening and shadow work. It's the sign of completion, but it's also very spiritual, very psychic, very intuitive, and so basically, especially in spiritual, as well as it's going to help with things like relationships, connections, romance, and stuff like that. So because it's the last sign, new beginnings will be best facilitated by releasing the old, ending. It's at 9 degrees, the new moon's at 9 degrees of the sign Pisces. 9 is the completion number. Pisces is the last sign. So we are completing the old cycle in this new moon. It's a little bit odd. I may be talking about new beginnings, but that is the new beginning. Just like in the Celtic Wheel of the Year, the Celtic celebration of Samhain is considered the new year, but it's also the holidays, Halloween, or it's a lead-in to Halloween, is celebrating death and endings and dying, and that's the true new beginning. So that's kind of interesting also. So anyways, moving right along, and I'm going to grab a little bit of water. So thanks everybody for joining us, by the way. And so I think I have this on this side here. So what else do I want to mention? Well, a lot of this is going to be facilitated through working with a heart frequency. So that's one of the things we're going to talk about with spiritual exercises. And this month or March is going to be Heart Brain Coherence Month on Spirit Mind Family. We're in energy healing month right now till the end of February. And Spirit Mind Family is our Patreon group. We do higher frequency channeling that I'm able to do on YouTube because it's a private platform. So we do some real high-end ascension work that's very succinct for those times here. And then we have exclusive content I don't release anywhere else. So there'll be information on how to join near the end. So for that, spiritual suggestion. Firstly, we've been urging you guys for many years now to double down on your spiritual practices, because we have recognized that by doing so, that you're going to be able to transform and to shift into higher frequencies much more seamlessly. And there is an earth split happening. There is a very notable energetic shift where some people are just not ready to shift into higher realities and some are. We'll all be on the same earth, but we'll be functioning in different levels and different rates of energy. So basically, so I hope you've answered the bell. That's the point of me saying that. I hope you've been working more on your spirituality, that you've made some positive changes in your vibration and frequency to better match the higher frequencies that we're coming into, so that you can slip in more succinctly. And able to use these frequencies for personal upgrades as well as planetary upgrade with a minimal of ascension symptoms. So, with the higher frequencies, our bodies and our energy fields struggle to keep up, and we have symptoms in our body and in our emotions sometimes. It's just part of the process. But if you've been doing the work, if you're very fluid, if you're not holding on to the energies, if you're able to work with flow and not be hold on, but be able to let the energies flow, then you have less ascension symptoms. A lot of that comes because the body struggles to adapt. And if we have blocks and cogs in our energy fields and higher frequencies hit that, it magnifies those blocks and we feel it more basically. So anyway, so for this lunar cycle, of course, continue your shadow work, continue your meditation, keep doing heart brain coherence. On Thursday we're going to release a video of 5:30 on how to apply heart brain coherence to heal yourself of things that doctors don't even understand yet basically. So that's happening. um, Work with diet, as we become more ascended and more fine-tuned, our bodies, our energy fields, and our nervous system becomes more refined, and we have to feed it food that's going to support our more refined symptoms, until we become airtarians, until we get into such a high frequency that we no longer need to eat. But I'm not there yet. I have a feeling most, if not all of you, are not there yet either. So diet, yoga, the right exercise, yoga, qigong, tai chi, or any type of exercise that supports your spiritual growth and supports flow and energy. So on that note, really work with feeling the flow. Doing meditation where you feel energy. Reiki is really good for that. Going out to nature, hugging trees and feeling the flow of the trees and feeling that through your body. Grounding, stuff like that. So there's nothing really new. It's just really keep doing what we've been talking about for a lot of months now, basically. Do lots of grounding also. So, as the frequencies get higher and there's more stress in the world that um, that we're all feeling, and more changes in the world, the more grounded we are, the more we're going to be able to withstand the storms of society, just like the deeply rooted trees withstand the storms when the white pine just blow right over in the storms. So we want to do this. I need a lot of water today. Good. I'm peeking at your comment. I'm not flashing them because I want to get all this information out. By the way, at 7 o'clock, if you happen to be in Spirit Mind Family Patreon, we're doing our live video. So we're going to jump right into that after this video. But that's on Patreon. It's not on YouTube. So there's another point I was going to make. All right. We'll do lots of grounding, right? Well, if it comes back, I'll let you know. But that's very key. And yeah, again, maybe work a lot with violet fire. You can check out Mr. Floyd's Universe, Josh's channel. He does a lot of work with Saint Germain, teach you how to work with violet fire. The thing is, we still have to stay safe because there's opposing forces. There's been a war against spirituality forever, because if humanity awakens, the plans of the globalists, the elite, deep state, whatever you want to call them, is going to fail. So they've been in so many different ways trying to block and upend that. But stay grounded, stay in your heart. The more in your heart you are, the more resistant you are to outside programming, the more you resistant you are to negative energies, frequencies, as well as like negative persuasions of others, the programming, the frequency programming through electronics, all that stuff. Very, very important right now, basically. And very good. So what else? What else? Okay, thank you for that. Yeah. All right. I'm just speaking of that. New moon. Lunar eclipse, new moon, 329. Yeah, that'll be at 9 degrees Aries. Yeah, then we get off of this parade of 9-degree new moons. All right. That'll be interesting. All right, let's do some divination cards. Let's see if we can get some messages that maybe I have not picked up on yet. Let's do our moonology. So with this part, I asked Spirit to input things that maybe I didn't talk about yet, or other things maybe that I did talk about. So let me just ask Spirit to work with me. Let me clear my mind for a second. I found my card. It's this one. My dry fingers can actually get this out of the slippery cards here. So this says, what is this? The fixed moon. I think we're in a fixed moon pattern now, right? Because we keep getting the same, like it's 99 degrees new moons and 3 degrees full moons, I think, for for the last several months. There may be another meaning to fixed moon, but hold your vision. So that would be a good message. Yeah, we have visions of the future for this new moon when there's a lot of release, there's a lot of spiritual energy coming in. Remember, it's that 7 planetary alignment. Keep your vision, hold your vision, and make it so real in your mind and be grateful in your heart, and keep doing that every day. And that's how you start to affect the quantum and start to make changes in the physical. So that's the idea. Basically, hold that vision and feel like it's real every day and feel grateful as if it's already happened, because on some level of reality it has, and timelines are fluid and all time happens in the now. So so there's that. Let's see, I have let me do Starseed Oracle. I love using this deck for our full moon and new moons. Hello, Roseanne. Yeah, I missed a few of you, but hi, everybody. All right. We got, I think, two. I was good too. I went off camera to lick my fingers to get these cards. Okay, so we got two of these. The first one is trust the timing, trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So this is the way the card looks. You may get your own personal messages from the imagery of this card. I'm trying to put this in a position where the shadows are making it funky. Remember, everything in divine timing. So trust the timing. And I think this is spiritual way of saying that there's a big wave of energy that you can move forward on things in your life. So trust, when you feel it or when it's presented to you, the timing is right. If you've been trying to make something happen and it hasn't been working out, it's just not the right timing. It may be time to go more within. Pisces is a very internal sign, so it beckons us to go within to find answers and to work on creating what we desire in our hearts first and make it so real. So we can use this Pisces energy and this very active 9-degree energy to power the internal desires into our external realities. And the other card that came out is you're not alone. So that's always a good message. We have our guides, our angels, our extraterrestrial, interdimensional guides working with us, our higher selves, source, spirit, or God. And it says, hard to read. See if I can hold this in a way. This writing is so freaking small. Isolation, physical connection, community. I live by myself, and I'm somewhat of a loner in life. Although obviously I'm connecting with you right now, and I do have friends. I do go out every now and then, but I live a lot of my time alone. But I'm never alone, and I never feel lonely. I never feel bored. I just don't get these feelings or emotions anymore. And why is that? Because I'm in my heart. I'm in my spirit. I always feel energy. I always feel my loved ones and my guides around me. And every moment is an adventure because I practice presence. And when you're present in the now, you can't possibly be bored because you are in a reality where all time and all reality exists. How can you get bored if all possibilities are existing right now, basically? So I think that's the meaning that I'm getting. So maybe this, because it's Pisces. Pisces is a very introverted sign also. I think it's just saying it's okay to go within now. It's okay to be alone because you're not alone. And the other part of this message is let's connect with community because things are changing, and there's an agenda to go more into transhumanism, interfacing with technology, and having basically a technocratic society with AI being the technology that's running things, in centralized governments. But there may be a period where we have to step out of that, and a lot of people are going to do that. So let's find our communities also. All right, we have also I like to do my sacred geometry cards. And then I have a totem animal for the month also. So what else is going on? We have the Power Tumens Plus course, a 4-part course coming up in March, starting a week from this Thursday, basically. So we're going to teach you how to work with the heart and how to create your reality through connection with your ultimate power source. I've got all new exercises. I'm really psyched for this course. There'll be information on this and how to join also. Then in April, from the 11th to 13th, is our mediumship and channeling retreat here in the Catskills. So come to the heart of the Catskills and do an intensive weekend and how to connect with your guides and loved ones, and how to do messages, how to do trance healing, how to do trance mediumship or channeling. So I'm really excited about that retreat. It's going to be a blast. It's filling up, so you guys may want to look into joining and ask me for more information. The email is info@atombetweentheworlds.com to get information on all these events. info@atombetweentheworlds.com. All righty then. Sacred geometry deck. Communication. What's Mercury doing now? Mercury's I think Mercury and Neptune are conjuncting. So basically, part of that energy, Mercury is the expression and Neptune is the intuition. So it's sort of like this expression of our feelings, of our intuition, basically, or finding ways or methods of expressing that. But what it says here in this card is the frequency of communication supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our hearts, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balance exchange. So again, it's Heart Brain Coherence Month coming up on Spirit Mind Family. We're going to learn how to cultivate the frequency of the heart that's going to enhance virtually, if not literally, every aspect of your life and improve virtually every aspect of your life when you really cultivate the master frequency, which is accessible through the heart, through emotional frequencies around gratitude and compassion. And it is a frequency we can tap into that brings us closer to source and allows us to create our own reality, to enhance our immune system. There's been empirical studies, thanks to Joe Dispenza and others, that prove that you slow down aging, and dare I say, even reverse aging in some cases or some aspects of it. I mean, the body's still going to get older, obviously, but anyway, it's an amazing practice. So last but not least, I love working with the totem animals. So let's get that. Any other recommendations? I'm not sure recommendations for what. But I've got so many different recommendations and videos and spiritual practices on the channel. I'll look out for a follow-up comment, Michelle, if you have one, and I'll try to answer that. I'm missing a lot of your comments today. On Sundays at 11 for tarot time, that's when we bring the whole community in, and I post a lot of your comments and we have a conversation. So you like that kind of exchange? 11 a.m. Eastern time every Sunday, we do that. Here we go. We got the horse. I was seeing the horse in my mind. How cool is that? Horses are about freedom. It's about empowerment. get back on your horse. Your horse could be your guide that takes you through the dimensions. It could be a unicorn that flies through the different levels of reality, the different levels of being, basically. Do a lot of work with horse medicine. And, I have the book too. I can just read a little excerpt of that. We love tarot time also. Thank you, Suzette. Michelle, you're never bored either. Good for you. Yeah. Synchronicities are off the chart, Laura. Yes, they are. Yes. And that's how spirit talks to us. It's through synchronicities. Spirit, our higher selves, God, whatever you want to call it, always trying to point us in the direction of truth. If we can listen to our heart and we can read the signs, you're making spirit's job easier, and it's helping you to ascend at this amazing time. So key 35, horse is power. Stealing horses is stealing power was a statement made from frequently in Native American and references. All right. Horses physical power and unearthly power. In shamanic practices throughout the world, the horse enables shamans to fly through the air and reach heaven. And humanity made a great step forward when the horse was domesticated, a discovery akin to that of fire. All right, so you get the idea. And so this is a very important and powerful totem for these times. Again, those of you that got in late, we're going to end in a second. You get back to the beginning. Very important to understand these 5 things that we need to know to apply them. And you're going to have an amazing shift. This is the time when humanity is shifting. We've been gearing up, preparing. The frequencies have been getting higher and higher for this moment. It's happening this and next lunar cycle, because the next lunar cycle is going to be the next new moon is going to be a solar eclipse of 9 degrees Aries, which is very powerful also. So these next 2 months, they're saying 3 months, but these next few months are it. We stepped out of the cusp of the earth changes right into the core. That happened, I believe, this autumn, following the collective quantum leap that the master teachers, the guides that I work with, were saying happened between the Lions Gate portal to around the Perseid meteor shower. So right at that power point in August, where a lot of things happened, we underwent a collective quantum leap. It's a quantum leap of energy. Like in an atom, a quantum leap is when the electron moves from a lower to a higher orbital frequency, basically. When it happens in consciousness, in an atom, a quantum leap happens in millionths of a second. That's why it's a leap. It just appears to go to another level. In consciousness, it takes a little time for that to happen. But the center that happened, and now we're starting to see the results with all these structures that are unsustainable and higher energies falling, with all the changes that are happening in the earth, with all the strife, all the struggles, everything that's going on is the reaction of the earth and physical reality to the energetic quantum leap that we experienced in middle to later 2024. And that's what's happening. So get on that horse, get into your power, and ride this ascension wave through the crack in between the realities and dimension that the 7th planetary alignment is. Well, the alignment isn't opening it up. It's the physical representation of how the planets are aligned. I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but anyway, that the 7th planetary alignment has opened up, basically. I think you all get the idea. Whew. Okay, and I'm going to get going now. Oh, it's 4:44 Mountain Time, or when you posted that, it was. So anyway, love you guys. So we will be back on Thursday night. Tomorrow we're doing a mediumship event. We still have, I think, 3 openings for that. Again, if you're interested in doing that, it's info@atombetweentheworlds.com. It's a maximum of 10, message guaranteed. But on Thursday, that's when we're going to do the transmissions, because that is the new moon. So we're going to do the transmission to help you to get on that unicorn and to take advantage of these opening, this crack between the dimensions, to step into that portal so you can catch that wave and ascend and awaken to your next level, basically. And we're all new earth leaders and teachers in our own right. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, especially those of you that stuck it out for this whole 45 minutes or so. All right, guys, thanks again. Oh, that's great. So I'll just post this one comment because my dream showed this crack and I was riding my horse, King. And there you have it. There's no coincidences. All right, guys. Thanks again. Hey, Bill, 4 horses of the apocalypse. Yeah. What is this? The 6th seal now, maybe in Revelations. It's literally they're saying the earth is going to shake. In the Mayan prophecies, they call it the shakings, right? The different energies that we pass through en route to our reawakening of humanity. So there we have it. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. Love you. See you at the next video.